What's up? It's good to be here. I recently got back from overseas, and traveling's a lot of fun. You meet a lot of people. Unfortunately, though, some of those people you meet are American. And Americans, they do this weird thing where they don't tell you where they're from, but they also tell you exactly where they're from. Like, I was in Vietnam, I met this one guy, and I was like, oh, where are you from? And then he was like, I'm from Delaware. What's a Delaware? Like, could you imagine if we did that? Instead of naming the country, we name where from inside the country. It's just like, oh my God, where are you from? It's like, I'm from Northcote. I don't know what's more annoying, the fact that they do that, or the fact that when they do that, I know where they're talking about. Because they never know where I'm not talking about. They're never like, oh my God, you're from Northcote? That is so cool. That's got like the shopping plaza with two coasts, hasn't it? It's interesting going overseas when you look like me as well, because nobody thought I was Australian. Everyone thought I was Mexican. And you guys are probably like, wait, this Mexican guy isn't Mexican? But I'm not, though. My dad's side is Greek Cypriot, and my mum's side's Italian. And people often ask me, oh, Peter, do you feel more Greek or do you feel more Italian? And truth be told, like, it really does depend on what I'm doing. Like, when I make love to my girlfriend, I feel very Italian. Whereas I feel more Greek when I make love to my boyfriend. I'm only joking, I lied about that. I didn't have a girlfriend or boyfriend. I'm not gay. However, I did do musical theatre growing up. So by default, that makes me an ally. The thing is, though, is that at the same time my parents put me into musical theatre, they also put me into mixed martial arts, UFC fighting. They were like, if this kid's gonna sing show tunes, he needs to learn how to defend himself. It was crazy. Like, I definitely got accused of being gay more whilst I was doing musical theatre, but I definitely felt more gay doing mixed martial arts. Like, I've never been held as intimately as when I was on the receiving end of a really naked chokehold. And everyone's like, oh my God, you did UFC fighting? That's so dangerous, that's so violent. It's actually quite romantic when you think about it. Like, I'm losing consciousness in the clutches of another man. Just call me Juliet. Except my Romeo, he's a 39-year-old bricklayer. He's got family tattooed on his neck to remind himself of the people he can see once every 2 weeks. Greek, Cypriot, and Italian, that makes me a WOG. Technically, you're not allowed to say WOG anymore. The politically correct term for WOG is CALD, C-A-L-D, which stands for culturally and linguistically diverse, which you know for a fact a WOG did not come up with. Like, I was on the tram recently and this guy came up to me and he's like, Greek, Cypriot, and Italian, you're white just like us. This Anglo guy, he's like, you're white just like us. You're one of us. Like, he was trying to like hot potato his white guilt onto me. He's like, you're white just like us. It's like, okay, well, hello would be nice. And it's like, I don't necessarily disagree with what he was saying, but I had to remind him that, like, we're two different shades of white, you know? Like, I had to tell him, I'm culture white, you're convict white. It didn't stop him from giving me a ticket, but... Yeah, everybody really did think I was Mexican overseas. Like I said, I was in Vietnam. I was talking to this one guy. First conversation we had, it's just a boring conversation about soy sauce. He was like, oh, I love soy sauce. I love soy sauce so much. I love soy sauce so much that if I could, I would inject it into my veins. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I like soy sauce as well. I prefer to smoke it in a pipe, but that's just me. And then he was like, oh, you're from Mexico, yes. Like, this wasn't a question. This was a statement. And I'm like, nah, I'm from Northcote. And then I was like, oh, where are you from? And then he was like, I'm from the best city on earth, Roma. But then get this, he was like, yeah, but for the last 8 years, I've lived in Brisbane. Like, dude, who's making that move? Who's moving to Brisbane from Rome? Especially after they've just called Rome the best city on earth. Like, I don't know if it was the fact that I was born and raised here my whole life, but when he said that to me, all I could think of was, why don't you just go back to where you came from? Like, and I know that's a messed up thing to say, because that's what Bogans were saying to my grandparents when they came here from Italy. But maybe they weren't being racist. Maybe they were just concerned. Like, mate, you're moving here from Italy? Mate, haven't you heard Rome's the bloody best city on earth? Like, mate, go back to where you came from, because you're never going to truly feel at home, and you're going to be stuck in this purgatory of us and them, and you're going to try and recreate the culture, but it's going to fail in comparison to what you once had back in the motherland, you know? Like, maybe that's what the Bogans were trying to say. To be fair, that is a lot to say from a speeding Commodore, so... I'm done.